Hey, what's going on YouTube? So today I'm going to showcase a hybrid endgame build for the Magicka Warden, also known as Magden. This build is capable of pulling over 113k on the parse dummy. I will be using mythics and trial gear, so once again this is not a beginner friendly build, but rather more for endgame players. The downside of hybrid builds is that you're going to be lacking in stamina and or penetration, so these builds are optimally run in optimized groups. Furthermore, hybrid builds tend to be more melee focused rather than ranged because of the sustain issues if they have too many Magicka skills. With that being said, here's the build. So starting off in the character sheet, I have 64 points in a Magicka and I'm running the Thief Mundus. For the race, I'm a high elf. I think high elves offer the best benefits for Magicka DPS. For the food, we're going to be running Clockwork Citrus Fillet for any hard content. A cheaper and almost just good alternative would be Witch Mother's Potent Brew. And lastly, if you're parsing or need more sustain, then Ghastly Eyeball is always the go-to. For the potions, we're just going to be using standard essence of spell power. Reason is we don't have access to any of these buffs: Major Prophecy, Major Sorcery, and Major Intellect. These potions do cost a bit to make, so make sure you have 3 points in a medicinal use to benefit from the full duration of the potions. So for the CP, for the blue tree, we're going to be running Wrathful Strikes, Deadly Aim, Master at Arms, and Exploiter. For the red tree, Siphoning Spells, Rejuvenation, Fortified, and Balanced Vitality. So for the gear, we're going to be running 5 pieces of Reliquin paired with 5 pieces of Pillar and Nirn. On the back bar, 2-piece Kjarnar and 1-piece Harpooner's Waiting Kill. So breaking down in the main hand, we have a Reliquin Dagger, Nirnhone with a Flame Damage enchant. In the offhand, Pillar and Nirn Dagger charged with a Poison Damage enchant. For the back bar, we have a Pillar and Nirn Inferno Staff infused with a Weapon Damage enchant. For the head and shoulders, we have 2 pieces of Kjarnar, both in Divines with a Max Mag enchant. For 4 pieces of the body, we have Reliquin. All 4 of the pieces are going to be in Divines with a Max Mag enchant. For the leg slot, we have Harpooners, which is in Divines with a Max Mag enchant as well. And for the jewelry, we have 3 pieces of Pillar and Nirn jewelry, all traded in Bloodthirsty with spell damage enchants. So for the skills, we're going to be running Subterranean Assault, Screaming Cliff Racer, Rending Slashes, Deadly Cloak, Barbed Trap, and Wild Guardian. On the back bar, Winter's Revenge, Unstable Wall of Fire, Degeneration, Fetcher Infection, Scalding Rune, and Wild Guardian again. So for the dynamic rotation, we're just going to be basing it off of our Subterranean Assault, using that every 6th skill, and then prioritizing Unstable Wall of Fire, Winter's Revenge, Fetcher Infection, Barbed Trap, Deadly Cloak, Rending Slashes, Scalding Rune, and Degeneration. And then when all of your dots are up, you use your Screaming Cliff Racer as your spammable. And then whenever your ult Wild Guardian is ready, you could just drop that whenever. And the pre-buff I used was I pre-buffed with Northern Storm, and then swapped to Bear, Subterranean Assault, Barbed Trap, and then just started from there. And here's the static rotation. So it's just basically uses Subterranean Assault, cast 2 back bar dots, 3 front bar dots, and then goes back to Subterranean Assault, and then 3 back bar dots, and then 2 Cliff Racers, and then Subterranean Assault, 5 Cliff Racers, and then whenever your ultimate Wild Guardian is ready, just swap that for a Cliff Racer, and you should be good to go. So for closing thoughts, Magdens did get nerfed, so there's that. They don't perform as well on the dummy or even in content as they used to. You can drop your daggers for an Inferno Staff, and then drop Rending Slashes and Deadly Cloak, and then maybe add like Caltrops and something else of your choice. The static rotation is really hard on your sustain, so if possible you might want to run a different armor set so you can get like maybe 1 more light piece or 2. But I was able to get through a full parse without completely magging out, and it was about 5 to 6k lower on average. So first up, for gear alternatives, you can run Core Riptide instead of Reliquin. Core Riptide is going to vastly outperform Reliquin in AoE fights. Other gear sets you can consider: Advancing Yokeda's pretty good if you can keep up the stacks. Whirl of Depths isn't bad at all. Aegis Collar is really good for AoE, and Sororia is a really strong set this patch. And for mythic alternatives, you can go Death Dealer, Mora, or even Sea Serpent's Coil. And for monster set alternatives, Stormfist, Maul, and Kjarnar are also good options. And I think that wraps it up. As always, thank you for watching the video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below, or better yet, come join our Discord. There's also a PlayStation North America ESO community Discord that I'm a part of, so if you happen to be on that server, you should come join that as well. I have recently started a YouTube membership, so if you feel like my content is worth a sub, please consider taking a look at it. As one of the perks for membership, I will be prioritizing builds for my members. Lastly, I also have a website available now with written guides on there. Link will be in the description. And as always, thank you for watching the video. I'll let this parse play out and add an outfit section at the end. See you in the next one.